People, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
And welcome back to This Week in Cincinnati. We are continuing our conversation right now with Ohio Secretary of State Jon Husted, who again has tossed his hat into the ring for the race for governor. And let's talk about current Governor John Kasich did not go to the Republican National Convention, did not support our current president during the campaign, or as he's in office now, he supports the party, the Republican Party. Where do you stand? Are you more about supporting the mission of the Republican Party, or is it more about the man?
Well, I think you can be for both. I think that, you know, if I were in his shoes, I'd have gone to Cleveland. I was in Cleveland. I was there. I supported the president, and think that others should have as well. That was a choice between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. For Republicans, that shouldn't have been a choice. And you need to support Donald Trump in that endeavor. And now that he's president, we need to support him. But sometimes in supporting somebody, that means that you got to be willing to share the truth with them as you see it. And that might mean on occasions trying to help them move in a direction that you believe the party should go that's perhaps not in a direction that they're going. So you need to do both. You got to support the party, you got to support the president, but you also have to be willing when you're a leader to speak truth to power and to help make sure that the values that you represent as a conservative are represented by your government leaders.
Let's talk about infrastructure. The Brent Spence, for years, politicians have stood with the Brent Spence Bridge behind them saying, we're going to get this replaced. We're going to get this replaced. Is Ohio going to ever be a partner with Kentucky? Will Brent Spence ever be replaced?
If I'm governor, it will be replaced, that's for sure. We're going to make sure that that happens. It's too important to our economy. It's too important to the people of Cincinnati. It's too important to the people of the state of Ohio and all the businesses that call our state home. And we have to do, we have to build the consensus between Ohio and Kentucky how to get this done. And I believe I'm the kind of person that can do that. I can work with anybody as long as, because we're going to stay focused on the mission of what we're trying to achieve, not the politics of who gets the credit or the blame.
Medical marijuana is on its way. What are your thoughts when it comes to medical marijuana, dispensaries, regulations to monitor everything in Ohio?
I think medical marijuana has some promise in a narrow field where it's been tested to help with seizures and to help people recover from cancer and things like that. There's medical evidence that it works, and as long as we're using it to support things that have medical evidence that marijuana can help, then that's great. But I don't want it to be out there used in a recreational way. And the reason for that is that the #1 reason in Ohio that you can't get a job and keep a job or hire somebody is that you can't pass a drug test. And we don't need more of that in Ohio. We need more people that are able to achieve their human potential. I was with somebody the other day who said, well, people are smoking it, you know, why don't you just acknowledge that and let it go on? I said, well, if you can explain to me how more drinking or more pot smoking is good for the people of the state of Ohio, I'm all ears. But I don't think more of either is better, and we need to make sure that when we do it in an intelligent way so that we don't create a problem bigger than the one we already have with drugs in this state. In
California, when medical marijuana popped up when I was living and working in San Diego, you could walk into a dispensary and you could say, I have migraines. And they would say, give us $75, they'll give you a medical marijuana card, and you're on your way. How do you prevent that? Because along your lines, you're saying make sure it's very narrow.
That's why Ohio needs to write rules and regulations that working with the medical community so that the only reason you can prescribe it is for a medically justifiable condition where there's evidence that it works.
In California, that's considered a medically reasonable purpose for medical marijuana.
Well, Ohio's not California, and I hope we never are.
All right, and we're almost out of time here, but when we're talking about the governorship, what is your most critical focus? First day on the job, if you were elected, what would be your first focus?
I would say, look, it's job creation, it's education, it's liberation from the federal government. It all starts with making sure we have good quality jobs, that people are educated and trained, whether it's vocationally or through colleges and universities, to get the jobs in the future, We're going to constantly need to be retrained to do that as technology becomes a bigger part of our lives. But to do it, we need to get the federal government out of our lives. We need to have more latitude on how we run our poverty programs, our education programs, our medical programs, so that we can make the dollars go further and that we can use Ohio ideas to solve Ohio problems.
Secretary of State Jon Husted, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
This Week in Cincinnati, we'll be right back.